Hello there. What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be doing a Legion build using Tabletop Admiral, and it's going to be an Imperial build primarily due to the fact that we are getting Dewbacks. And I figured some fun things to do with Dewbacks would be to build some lists. So I'm actually going to build a list with 2 Dewback riders, and I am using Tabletop Admiral. I'll put a link to this in the description below. And also want to talk about a new site that Tabletop Admiral has coming out, which is actually pretty cool. We'll talk about that towards the end. But yeah, so Dewback riders, one of the things that kind of is important about these guys is they haven't come out for a while. They were supposed to be out a long time ago. And one of the things I think is Tauntauns were part of like to be their counterpart, and Tauntauns have been kind of running wild, and part of that is I think that they weren't kind of balanced by the presence of also having Dewback riders. So so I'm not gonna go triple Dewback in this particular list. I'm only gonna run 2 because I want it to be like, I don't think everybody out there will buy like the max number of everything, and of course you could modify this a little bit to add some if you wanted to do that. But for both Dewback riders, I'm going to give them both endurance. Now, endurance is a great keyword that's basically going to let you remove a suppression token. I think that's going to be important for the Dewback riders. We know that suppression is one of the things that can really slow down anybody with relentless, anybody like the Tauntauns. Suppression is one of the ways that you can combat them, and endurance is going to help them because again, they want to do spur, right? They want to get extra movement. And I'm going to do some other things that are really going to work with Spur, because we're going to put Palpatine as the commander so that he can do pulling the strings on them and do a lot of stuff. So we can kind of get 3 Dewback attacks through only 2 Dewbacks. So that's going to be kind of a fun thing. Now, these 2 Dewbacks are going to be a little different, though. They do both have endurance, so that's good. But I am going to give one of them the T-21 blaster rifle. That's a cheaper weapon, but it does have 4 white dice. And critical too, which is good. It can be useful against vehicles. It can be useful when shooting into cover. It's kind of a nice kind of jack of all trades weapons, and gives you some long range flexibility. And that will contrast a little bit against the other Dewback that we're going to run, who is going to be having a little more stuff. This is going to be more of our close range Dewback. So this closer range Dewback is going to have the CR-24 flame rifle, which has got blast and spray. This one is definitely, I think, the most deadly, and I would love to maybe run triple flame Dewbacks at some point. But yeah, the flame rifle, very, very nasty. Really, really effective, especially against big groups of troopers. However, because it's only range 1, you're not as able to do quite as much until you're really up close and personal. So this is probably the one that I think maybe I might push with Palpatine a little bit more. But since he is going to get up close and personal, I'm also going to put Comms Jammer in on this one in case since Clone Wars are out right now too. I mean, this can be useful against a lot of things, against shore troopers, against rebel veterans, against droids, against clones, stopping the chain of droid activations, stopping clones from being able to do fire support, or any of the rebel units from able to do fire support. I think Comms Jammer now has a place in the game, and against a Dewback rider that wants to get right up in your face, I think that's a good place for it to also help keep them alive, so you can't try to activate those people who are in melee range of the Dewback. So yeah, so I think we're going to put Comms Jammer on that one. So these 2 Dewbacks are a little different. I did say we were going to put Palpatine on there, so let's put Palpatine in. Now, this is going to be an expensive list. We've got some expensive units already, so this is going to be a lower activation list already, you can kind of tell. Now, for command on Palpatine, I am going to put Commanding Presence. Now, I was really tempted to put Aggressive Tactics, and you can totally change this list up. Aggressive Tactics is a fantastic option for Palp, but I do want Commanding Presence on there, because I think I'm going to be trying to move. Like, Palp wants to get into the fight, but some of these units may have to split up. And also for his 3-pip, I don't want him being too far away. And also it kind of fit with the points that I was trying to fit in there. But feel free to change things up a little bit and give him aggressive tactics if you want. But I'm putting Commanding Presence on him right now. For his force upgrades, I am going to give him Anger. I think Anger is crucial for Palpatine, especially if you get that 1-pip off. For his other next force, I'm going to give him the new one, Fear. This one came with Dooku. It's already out. And Fear is going to let you, after your rally step, you can give somebody a suppression, which is just really cool. And it's a 3-point upgrade. It's just free. It's awesome. He just gets to do that. And then for his next Force ability, I am going to give him Force Choke. Now, Force Push is a really good option here, especially since you've got these little Dewbacks that may want to be able to move and to get into melee range and all of that. I definitely get that, but I went with Force Choke for points value since Force Choke is cheaper than Force Push. I went with Force Choke. And this really boils down to points. That's really the ultimate kind of thing, because again, I'm trying to put different things on Palpatine, but I'm at risk of going over on the points. But we could play around with this a little bit and change some of these upgrades if we needed to. It's totally doable at this point. But Force Choke is still a super, super good ability. All right. So, since Palp does have Entourage for Royal Guard, I'm going to put a Royal Guard in there as well. So we will put an Imperial Royal Guard. And for this particular Imperial Royal Guard, we are going to upgrade him a little bit. We're going to give him the extra mini for the Electro Staff Guard. And we're going to give him Tenacity and Hunter. And I think this is probably one of those that you could drop. Like, if you wanted, you could drop Hunter and upgrade maybe Force Choke to Force Push or Commanding Presence to Aggressive Tactics. You could do all of those things, but I still think Palpatine is pretty solid with what he's got. But if you're looking for ways to kind of adjust this build a little bit, that's a good kind of flexible point right there, because Hunter is going to be great against certain units, but against certain other units, less great. So we got a lot of like close range stuff in this particular build, which could make these Royal Guards extremely deadly if they're able to get there. So that's all we're going to run on the Royal Guards. So now we are already up to 565 points, and we've got our commander, we've got a special forces, and 2 supports. It is time to start adding some core units though. So let's start out with just a single unit of Shore Troopers. Shore Troopers are amazing, and I'd love to run more, but we're just not going to be able to afford too many Shore Troopers. But I will give them the T-21B, who's an amazing unit. I love the 2 black and 2 white at to range 4. He's one of the best heavy weapons in the game. And then we'll also add the comms technician. The comms technician is kind of important right here. And for comms, since we have to do that, of course, we'll put HQ uplink, so this way we can activate ourselves, which is going to be very important. And we'll also add the Mortar Trooper, which gives us an extra core option. Now we only needed 1 more core to be able to make this all work. And since I've got Palpatine and I like the whole idea of being able to use pulling the strings on whoever I want and get cool benefit out of it, I'm going to put Snow Troopers down here. Again, in keeping with the close range. We're not going to have quite as much at long range, but our Shore Troopers will do good there. The Mortar Troopers will do good there. And then the Dewback Rider with the T-21 Blaster Rifle will be all right there. And that's going to allow a couple of things. It's going to allow that Mortar to do fire support, maybe with Palpatine's Lightning, or with something like, maybe one of the Dewback, flamethrowers or something like that. Just all kinds of really cool dice combinations you're going to be able to have with that Mortar if you want to do that. But yeah, so our Snow Troopers are going to be kind of heavily loaded out. We're going to give them, first off, a Flame Trooper, because that's awesome. Now for the personnel, instead of the extra Snow Trooper, I am going to add the Medical Droid. It's 19 points, but considering an extra Snow Trooper is already 12, it's not like that much more. But yeah, this is going to help us in case Palpatine takes damage. We really need to make sure that Palpatine's at full health when it comes time for him to maybe, die or not die, or, if he's going to hit that 1 pip. We want to make sure that he is healthy, and that's going to help with that. And so will the Royal Guards as well. And you can do it one of each different ways. Maybe Palpatine takes 1 damage, you heal him once. Maybe once a single Royal Guard miniature dies, you heal him once, and able to stand that mini back up so he can still roll his dice, which is always nice. But yes, we're going to do that. We're also going to put recon intel. The Snow Troopers are slow. They're really slow, so they could use the extra little bit to start them off. And yeah, so I'm always fine with that. And then with grenades, I am going to put my favorite thing, the Fragmentation Grenade, on the Snow Troopers. This makes that Flame Trooper mini really nasty, because now you get Surge to crit, which also means that you can do some damage against against vehicles with those fragmentation grenades, having a better chance to get criticals, which is really good. And that puts us at 799 points. So we're already there. So that's pretty cool. Now, one of the things that you can do, like I will copy this link and I'll paste that down in the description below so you can take a look at this particular build. But I also want to talk about TTA Share. That is a new site that Tabletop Admiral has put out where you can put battle reports up, and it's pretty interesting. You can submit a battle report. You can paste your unit lists like straight from Tabletop Admiral. You can also put a link to the if you have it on YouTube. So if you go there, you can find my most recent battle report, which was Rex versus Dooku. You can click there to watch the whole battle report, or just look at the lists. You can see what objectives we were using. You can leave comments and all of that. So that's pretty cool. So I thought I'd remind you to check out TTA Share. That's also pretty cool. But yeah, so that's the list. Also have to announce a winner for the $25 Amazon gift card giveaway, and that is going to be the Mandalorian Legion. Congratulations. Thank you for subscribing and entering the giveaway. And just go ahead and shoot me an email at mailcrabbok@gmail.com, and I will get your contact information, and we'll get you squared away. For everybody else, there are big giveaways coming up in December. I'm doing 12 days of giveaways, and there is going to be a random subscriber picked during each of these 12 days. It's not going to be every day. I'm going to be alternating days, so you will have to be surprised because you're not going to know in advance what you win. You may just see yourself be shown up. If you are a subscriber and you've left comments on videos, you may just see your picture show up on one of my videos and say, "Congratulations, you just won something." And you'll just have to see what it is. So make sure you click that bell for alerts. You don't want to miss my 12 days of giveaways happening in honor of Life Day. So my Life Day giveaways is starting in December. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Make sure you're subscribed. And that is about it. I will put a link to this again in the description below. I want to thank all of you. I also want to thank my patrons. If you're looking for more chances to win stuff, check out Patreon. There's more giveaways also going on there. So also it helps support the channel because we don't know what's going to happen in January. This new COPA thing. I'll have to talk some more about that in another video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. And as always, have a great day.